At a time the EU and the Gulf region have increasingly interconnected by geopolitical interests, trade, culture, and public diplomacy, the establishment of the European Union Delegation to the State of Qatar in September 2022 was overdue. Its importance and impact became immediately evident.
Ahlan wa sahlan. My previous postings were at EU delegations in Washington, D.C. and in Beijing, which are huge missions. And I was surprised to see the challenges a small delegation and a new delegation had to face, especially since the following day of our arrival in Doha. We only had 3 working days to prepare for the visit of the President of the European Council, Charles Michel, for the inauguration of our temporary premises. What we pulled through as a tiny team of 4 diplomats in a such short time was a miracle.
During a much-attended ribbon-cutting ceremony, the EU delegation in Doha was inaugurated, marking a new chapter in the EU-Qatar relations. Usually, the first few months are all about settling in, immersing in the local culture, and establishing networks. This was not the case of this diplomatic mission. With only weeks ahead of the FIFA World Cup 2022, the EU delegation had to prepare for the influx of incoming officials and visitors. A consular crisis preparedness exercise was conducted with the participation of the EU delegation, the Council presidency, and all EU member states in Doha. Sports was going to become a central point in the EU delegation's activities since then.
From the very beginning, we wanted to build up on an integral part of the Qatari national identity, their investment in sports. We seized the opportunity to promote sports diplomacy, a field that can be fun and yet allow us to convey our messages on our values and goals. Following a series of activities, partnering with the most prominent Qatari institutions, we are proud to say that we managed to engage meaningfully a good percentage of the youth of this country and to contribute in making a positive impact on the local community.
Since the establishment of our organization, the ICSS, International Center for Sport Security, the European Union, after the State of Qatar and Qatar organization, has been the main supporter of our programs and projects in the field of sport integrity, child protection in sport, social inclusion, particularly social inclusion of refugees through sport, and sport for peace and development. A cooperation that has further accelerated since the establishment of the European Union delegation here in Qatar.
Generation Amazing est une initiative humanitaire et sociale de la Coupe du Monde 2022 du Qatar. Nous sommes très fiers de travailler en partenariat avec la délégation de l'Union européenne au Qatar. Nous partageons les mêmes ambitions, une même responsabilité, exercer une influence positive sur la société grâce au pouvoir du sport. Notre dévouement commun pour la diplomatie du sport et de la promotion de l'égalité des genres nous a naturellement amenés à créer des opportunités éducatives et culturelles à échelle mondiale pour la jeunesse, notamment pour les filles. De plus, nos programmes s'inscrivent dans le cadre des objectifs de développement durable des Nations Unies et de la vision nationale du Qatar 2030. Nous avons invité une délégation de 10 jeunes femmes qatariennes et de la région à participer à un festival de la jeunesse se tenant en Australie l'été dernier pendant la Coupe du Monde féminine de football. Nous avons aussi travaillé sur un certain nombre de projets comme un summer camp ici au Qatar l'été dernier offrant un grand nombre d'activités sportives et éducatives pour les enfants défavorisés au Qatar. Et notre prochain grand projet, notre grand rendez-vous est de soutenir une délégation de jeunes du Qatar et de la région à participer à un festival de la jeunesse ayant lieu en France pendant les Jeux Olympiques de Paris cet été. Plus de 500 jeunes à travers le monde s'y retrouveront pour une célébration culturelle et sportive. Nous sommes très heureux de travailler avec la délégation de l'Union européenne ici.
The opening of the European Union delegation in Doha coincided with the establishment of the UNESCO Chair on Governance and Social Responsibility in Sport at Hamad bin Khalifa University. We all know that sport can be a catalyst for positive social change, a vehicle for constructive dialogue, and a bridge builder between states and nations. It fosters inclusivity, promotes peace, and creates a notion of global cooperation. We are delighted that sport has been one of the main pillars of the EU delegation's public diplomacy, something that perfectly aligns with the ultimate goal of this UNESCO chair. We are therefore looking forward to continuing working together through impactful initiatives.
The EU delegation's cultural programmes have also played a vital role in promoting mutual understanding and people-to-people collaborations. Through art exhibitions, film screenings, European language activities and workshops on cultural and creative industries, European and Qatari audiences came together to celebrate the rich mosaics of the cultures in Europe and Qatar.
We strongly believe that the most efficient way to engage substantially and in a sustainable manner with the local communities is through an inclusive approach. In all our events, we have applied a cross-cultural, cross-generational, gender-balanced approach, providing a platform to everyone to be heard and to become part of this joint community we are building. We also find ourselves becoming a platform for our member states to showcase the richness of their cultures.
The collaboration between the delegation of the European Union to the State of Qatar and the Employment Standards Office of the Qatar Financial Center has been very successful thanks to our common goals and values: the rule of law, human dignity and human rights, sustainable development and economic growth, social justice, non-discrimination and equality between women and men. And thanks to the different initiatives we have conducted hands in hands to raise awareness on the valuable contribution of women to societies and economies, we drive positive change, paving the way to more sustainable and inclusive workplaces and societies where women and men are treated fairly and with dignity and respect, and where gender equality is not only a goal but also a reality.
The last 2 years have been marked by a series of crises and challenging regional developments, highlighting the necessity for political dialogues in order to address global issues and resolve regional crises.
Our mission here in Doha is not just to promote the political and economic interests or the values of the European Union, but to build a strategic partnership which is long-term, sustainable and producing tangible positive outcomes from both sides. I'm proud to say that in an increasingly complicated political environment, both for our bilateral relations as well as for the regional stability and global security, since the establishment of the delegation, not only have we solidified our political collaboration, but we have also created a wide and comprehensive network of friends and partners within the Qatari community.
The establishment of the European Union delegation to the State of Qatar has symbolised the ever stronger links between the EU and Qatar, which have overcome serious challenges and have set the foundations for a partnership that brings hope for more and better understanding between the two sides, creates the potentials for even more structural cooperation, and reaffirms the genuine friendship between the people of Europe and Qatar.